It was just past 7 a.m. on a cold, drizzling Monday when Christian pulled up beside the cracked old bus stop outside the local grocery store. He hadn't planned to stop, but something told him to look again. That's when he saw them. Two little girls, maybe 6 or 7 years old, sitting on the bench with soaked backpacks, shivering, their shoes barely holding together. No adults. No jackets. Just silence and eyes filled with fear. Christian had never seen them before, and he drove this route every morning to take his son, Micah, to school. He hesitated for a moment. Then rolled down the window and gently said, "Hey, are you girls okay?" The girls didn't answer. The smaller one clutched the other's sleeve tightly, eyes darting behind them. The taller twin, more curious than afraid, gave a faint nod. Christian stepped out of his truck, slow and calm. "My name's Christian. I have a little boy your age. It's freezing. You don't have to be scared. Come with me." The taller one whispered, "We can't go back." The younger one trembled. "Mom said don't talk to strangers." Christian knelt to their level and looked them in the eye. "You're right. But I'm not here to hurt you. I promise. You need help, and I want to help. Please, just come with me, for now." After a moment of silence and a look passed between them, the girls stood up and slowly walked toward him. Christian opened the truck door, gently guiding them in. He didn't take them home immediately. First, he drove to the school to drop off Micah. Then, he stopped at a diner and bought the girls warm pancakes and hot chocolate. That's when their story started to unravel. Their names were Lily and Leah. Their mother hadn't come home the night before. They lived in a rundown apartment a few blocks away. There was yelling the night before, more than usual. The twins hid in a closet. When they came out, she was gone. No note. No neighbors had seen her. Christian called Child Protective Services, but the lines were overwhelmed. He made another call to his sister Anna, a social worker. She promised to come right away. But that night, Christian couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the way Lily held Leah's hand like she was her mother. About how both of them jumped when a man raised his voice on the diner's TV. About how children that young had learned to survive alone. He set up a little sleeping area in the guest room. Gave them clean pajamas. Told them they were safe, just for tonight. But the next morning brought something Christian didn't expect. The girls were up before him, quietly folding the pajamas and trying to clean the breakfast dishes. When he asked why, Leah looked down and said, "Because if we don't behave, people send us away." His heart broke. Anna arrived later that morning, and after a full report, she looked at Christian and said, "You can't legally keep them. But, if you wanted to take emergency custody while the case is processed, I could file it." He didn't even pause. File it. What followed was not easy. Christian was a single dad already juggling a full-time job and raising Micah on his own. His ex-wife had walked out years ago, and since then, it had just been father and son. Adding two traumatized girls into the mix was like spinning an extra plate on a pole already wobbling. The girls had night terrors. They would cry in their sleep or wake up screaming. Christian often sat at the edge of their bed, softly humming hymns his mother used to sing him. He cooked meals they barely touched. He read stories they only half listened to. Micah, too, struggled with the sudden change. He wasn't used to sharing his dad. One day, Christian found him sitting alone in his room, quiet. "Are they gonna stay forever?" he asked. "I don't know yet, buddy," Christian replied honestly. Micah looked up. "I miss it being just us. But, they look sad all the time. Maybe we should make them laugh more." That night, they baked cookies together. All four of them. Messy, sticky, chaotic, and full of laughter. It was the first time Lily smiled fully. And Leah even hugged Micah without prompting. Weeks passed. Anna updated them that the mother still hadn't been found. Authorities suspected drugs were involved. There were signs of past abuse. The court process would take time. But Christian no longer counted the days. He bought Lily a pink bicycle from a yard sale. Leah got a small stuffed bear she wouldn't let go of. He taught them bedtime prayers. He saw them start to trust. Not just him, but life. One Sunday morning, Mike had tugged on his dad's shirt in church and said, "Can we say they're our family now?" Christian's eyes welled up. He nodded. "Yeah. I think we already are." 3 months later, the judge granted Christian full foster rights. When he told the girls the news, Leah burst into tears, and Lily ran into his arms. But it was the next day that would stay with Christian forever. Micah had drawn a picture in school of their family. 4 people and a dog. Christian, Micah, Lily, and Leah, holding hands under a big tree. On the back, he had written, "We're not the same, but we belong together." Christian stared at it for a long time. That morning at the bus stop, he could have just driven on. Pretended he didn't see. Convinced himself it wasn't his business. But he didn't. Because sometimes, the greatest blessings come wrapped in broken pieces. And healing starts with 3 simple words.